You know when you should break like this or this. Well, stay tuned, and this week I'm going to show you the advantages and disadvantages of breaking off the side rail compared to the middle of the table. I'm going to go into detail, and the next time you break an 8-ball, you'll know exactly which break to use. Hello, I'm Master Instructor Anthony Beeler, and welcome to another episode of Do You Want to Play Like a Pro? As we continue our journey to 10,000 subscribers, don't forget to go to poolteacher.com and register for our big giveaway. We're only a few weeks away from reaching our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and you don't want to be left out on all of our wonderful prizes. We're giving away cues, we're giving away caps, we're giving away ball sets, one signed by world champion Nick Varner. We're giving away books. We're giving away pool lessons. So don't forget to go to poolteacher.com and register for this big event. In this week's video, we're going to look at the 8-ball break. And I'm going to explain to you the difference between breaking out in the middle of the table and breaking off the side rail. And I'm going to explain the advantages and the disadvantages to each break. So let's go to the table and see what that looks like. This week we're going to look at the two major breaks in 8-ball, and the first one we're going to look at is when you break out here on the bed of the table and you're placing your bridge hand out here. The advantage to breaking from the bed of the table is this. You're going to get a much better spread. All the balls are going to break up much better if you hit them with power. If you make a ball, you've got a much greater chance of running out. However, if a ball doesn't go in when you break from the middle of the table, your opponent will have a nice spread with a great chance to run out. So if you use this break, you better make a ball, because if you don't make a ball, your chances of winning that game have went down dramatically if you're playing against a high-level player. Now conversely, if you break off the side rail here, there's some advantages to this. If you're playing against a player that runs the balls well, but isn't very good at safety play, when you break off the side rail, you're trying to hit the second ball as squarely as you can. And whenever I'm hitting that second ball as squarely as I can, I use maybe a half of a tip of right spin and maybe a half of a tip of low to hit this second ball. And the effect that I want to get is the cue ball drawing into the rail and then hitting the rack again a second time. And that gives the 8-ball a chance to go maybe in the side pocket or in the corner. But the problem with this break, or maybe it's not a problem, it really all depends on which way that you look at it, but this break tends to leave clusters and puts more play in the game. So if you're a better manager than your opponent, and you're a better safety player, then this might be the break for you. However, when you're competing at the highest levels of competition out in big tournaments, I don't think you can win breaking off the side rail when you're pitted against an opponent who breaks from the center of the table and is pocketing a ball every time. Now here's what happens. When they're breaking from the center of the table and they're making a ball on the break, they figure to run out. If they're a high-level player, they're going to get out most every time that they break the balls. And then if you're using the side rail break, you may pocket a ball but because there are clusters, your run out percentage is diminished. So when you're playing at the highest levels, I don't think you can break off the side rail and compete with someone breaking from the center of the table who's making a ball, because they're going to run out a much higher percentage of the time. So you kind of have to weigh all that. You have to look at your opponent. Again, if you're a better manager, break off the side rail, hit the second ball, and then put some play in the game. If your opponent doesn't play well at all and you want to end it quickly, break towards the center of the table, get a good spread, and the runouts will come much more quickly. Notice that the 2 and the 6 are close together. The 11 ball is a problem for anyone who takes the strikes. This rack broke pretty nicely. I didn't pocket a ball, but there's definitely some play in this rack. Again, this is a pretty good spread, but look at all the congestion here all together. Note that this rack is going to be a difficult rack to run, and again, there's a lot of play here. Okay, this is a perfect example of the side rail break. Look at the congestion and clusters. I made a ball on the break. You saw the 8 ball fly out of the rack. When you use this break, there's a great chance that it can go, and in some places that's an automatic win. In some places you re-rack them or you spot it and continue playing. So depending on where that you're playing, using that break could cause you to win the game. But just be aware that when you want to put some play in the game, breaking from the side rail is the answer. And again, you do that when you can outmanage your opponent and play better safes than him. And remember, when you're breaking off the right-hand side rail, you'll want to use a half a tip low or a half a tip right to get that action where the cue ball strikes the rail and goes back into the stack. If you're on the left side of the table and you're breaking from that side, it would be a half of a tip low and a half of a tip of left spin to get that same action. The next break we're going to look at is breaking from the bed of the table. And what you would expect to get here is a much greater spread. But again, if you don't make a ball and you're playing against a run-out player, then you could be in trouble. Okay, notice the spread in this instance. All the balls are open. Nothing is touching another ball. I've got a really good chance of running out this rack. If I hadn't made a ball, my opponent would have a great chance to run out this rack. And remember, like I said before, if your opponent is a run-out player and they're using this break and they're making a ball on the break consistently, I just don't think you can beat them, all things equal, if you're breaking off the side rail, because their run-out percentages are going to be much higher than yours. And with the congestion of the side rail break, it's going to be a fight to see who wins that game anyway if they play pretty good. So their percentages of winning a game when breaking from the middle of the table will be much greater than yours, all things equal, if they're pocketing a ball and they play just as good as you. Again, notice this time I stopped the cue ball in the center of the table. There's absolutely no congestion here, and I definitely figured to run out this rack. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Do You Want to Play Like a Pro? I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on the 8-ball break, and I hope you better understand when you should use each break during competition. Also, don't forget that next week, July the 3rd, is the deadline for our Hopkins autograph book giveaway. Remember that all video submissions are due July the 3rd at 6 p.m. Don't forget to go to poolteacher.com and register for our big giveaway. It's only a few weeks away and you don't want to miss out on all of our wonderful prizes. Good luck to everyone, and maybe you'll be the person that walks away with this book. Thanks again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great week.
It's just one of those amazing classes that you can never forget. It's one of those classes that can really get you going where you want to go with the game.
It's the best online course on pool out there.
It's been really cool working with Anthony from home. I've already learned so much.
I love the course. It is easy to use and available 24/7, which fits well with my busy schedule.
Luckily, I stumbled upon Anthony Beeler's online courses, so I signed up. And within 3 or 4 months, my game had improved dramatically.
It will definitely improve your game.
When I did go back to the regional tournament, finally after 7 years, I got first place. They bumped me up to the next division. I went back the following year. I got first place in that division the first year. I can't say highly enough how much Anthony's courses have helped me, and I have no doubt they will help you too. If you do have any questions, he's available on the phone calls. He answers your questions very quickly.
Someone asked me about Anthony Beeler's Virtual Beeler Academy class. Go all the way.